Good morning to all. In our last class, we have discussed about nucleic acids. So, nucleic acids until the sugars we have discussed. That is the structure of sugars. There are two types of sugars we have. So, pentose, two pentose sugars we have. That is deoxyribose and ribose. So those structures we have discussed, and we have also come across with nucleic acids are made up of pentose sugar, nitrogenous base, and a phosphoric acid. So pentose sugar, those are deoxyribose and ribose. So those two we have discussed. So now we are going to discuss about the bases. So this is what a chemical composition of nucleic acids hydrolysis. So chemical composition it is. So DNA, if at all, if it is being hydrolyzed, if you are going to hydrolyze the DNA, then it is going to give out deoxyribose sugar, phosphoric acid, purine or pyrimidine base. So base it is either it may be purine or pyrimidine. So it is generally called base, that's it. You can just write it as base. And if at all, if RNA is hydrolyzed, RNA if it undergoes hydrolysis, then it is going to give rise to ribose sugar, phosphoric acid and base again. So the difference is here it is deoxyribose, here it is ribose. The name itself suggests, so it is deoxyribose nucleic acid, it is ribonucleic acid. So that is what the DNA and RNA is, deoxyribonucleic acid, ribonucleic acid. So if at all, if it is hydrolyzed, these are the products. This is important for KCET. Next one, bases. Already we have, as we have already studied the sugars, now we are moving on to bases now. So bases are of two types. One is purine and another one is pyrimidine. So you can observe the structures of purine and pyrimidine. So it is like purines, once again it has been under purines, once again we have different categories or different molecules we have. Likewise pyrimidine, once again we have. So, but the general original structure of purine is this one. So, the slight change in this will give rise to different forms. So, purine, we have two different forms of purine, that is adenine and guanine. Likewise, pyrimidine, we have three, that is thymine, uracil and cytosine. So, general structure you observe, purine if you check. So, it is this is the structure of purine. So nitrogen first, nitrogen, next second carbon, third, like this it goes. Okay. So here there is a slight variation, two different forms you can get it. This double bond may shift here. If this double bond shifts here, then this hydrogen will be on the 7th place or 7th nitrogen. Okay. So purine, so it will be of two different forms. When it comes to what adenine or guanine it is, so it will be giving rise to like that structures. So nitrogen, whatever on hydrogen, whatever is there, this hydrogen may be present on 7th nitrogen or it may be present on 9th nitrogen. This double bond may shift here, it may present here. Okay. Likewise, you can observe pyrimidine structure. Pyrimidine, it is an 6-membered ring. So first is nitrogen. First nitrogen is going to start from here. So here we have nitrogen here. That is also, here also nitrogen is the first one. So what in purine also as well as in pyrimidine, both the nitrogen is the first one. So we are going to study now the most commonly used purine forms. So purines, two purines which are commonly found in nucleic acids. They are adenine and guanine. So observe properly. So we have what we have, bases we have, purines and pyrimidines, two types. Under purine, again it has been divided into two types, that is or two commonly used form in nucleic acids. It is adenine and guanine. So adenine, you can name that one, adenine as 6-aminopurine C5N5H5. So adenine, so observe here C5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbon. Likewise nitrogen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 nitrogen. Next hydrogen 5. 2, 3, 4 and 5. As I said, so this double bond may shift here and this hydrogen may shift to this nitrogen. The two forms are available. Okay. Next, so if you observe here, the name is 6-aminopurine. 6 amino on the 6th carbon atom, an amino group is there. These are not, we are not going to name this one. We are not going to name as amine group, a primary amine or secondary, or it may be tertiary. We are not considering that one because it is present in the ring itself. So that ring form, this ring form whatever is there, this ring form whatever is there, so that is what purine is. Okay, so the basic structure, the ring form is purine form. To the ring, the extra attached, or the to the purine, the extra attached one is a NH2 group. So that's why it is 6-aminopurine. Followed this one, 6-aminopurine, because this entire structure, this ring structure remains the general form itself. So only the substituent present on 6th carbon, that is NH2. So that substituted one is named as adenine. It is named as adenine. Likewise, the next one, guanine. So here also same thing you can observe here. So the entire thing remains the same. Entire thing remains the same. But only the change is, it is, this is the first carbon. This is the first carbon, this is the first nitrogen. Here also same thing. This is the, so from here it has been started. It is not like nitrogen should be numbered first. Okay. Nitrogen should be numbered first. That is the thing. So here we have numbered this one in this way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next 7, 8, 9. Likewise, here also it is 1, or you can number from this end only. As it is, you can number from this end only. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Okay. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. 6 oxo. So it is double bond O. So that's why it is a 6 oxo. So 2 amino. Second carbon NH2 group is there. So 2 amino. On 6th carbon we have a double bond O. So 2 amino 6 oxo purine it is. So it is this structure is a purine form. So only the differences you can observe. Only the differences C5N5H5. C5N5H5O. So that O is the double bond O present here. So adenine, guanine. Structures may not be asked in the theoretical exam, may not be asked in the theoretical exam, but for competitive purpose it is very, very important. So adenine and guanine are the two purines which are commonly present in the nucleic acid. Okay. So we have studied the structure of adenine also as well as guanine also. Adenine is a 6-aminopurine and guanine is 2 amino 6 oxo. Next is pyrimidine. So three which are most commonly found in nucleic acids. The pyrimidines which are commonly found in nucleic acids are thymine, cytosine, uracil. So 3, remember properly, adenine and guanine are purines. Pyrimidines are thymine, cytosine and uracil. These 5 togetherly called as generally called as bases. Okay. So now thymine. So it is 2,4 dioxo 5-methylpyridine. Cytosine 2-oxo 4-aminopyridine. Uracil 2,4 dioxo pyrimidine. So we'll study the structure of thymine first. So thymine, if you check, it is an 6-membered ring. So the number starts from nitrogen. So this is very, very important. Remember, in purine also the number 1 is nitrogen only there. So likewise here also the number 1 is nitrogen only. So that is very, very important, because when we will move on to the further topics, we require that one. How the bond formed or with which group it is going to form an bond. That is very, very important. So we have the first nitrogen. First it is numbered with the nitrogen itself. You can observe. nitrogen, it is C double bond O, NH, NH, C double bond O, C, CH3, CH. So we can name that one as 2, 4. It is 2. Second carbon with C double bond O. Here also it is C double bond O it is. So 2, 4 dioxo. For the fifth carbon, methyl group is attached. So 2, 4 dioxo, 5 methyl pyridine it is. So next one, cytosine. So cytosine, same numbering 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 oxo, 4 amino. 2 oxo, 4 amino pyrimidine. Next, uracil. So uracil 2, 4 dioxo pyrimidine. So 2 is this one, 4 is this one. 2, 4 dioxo pyrimidine. Okay. So when you check this uracil and when you check the thymine, they are almost similar. So observe. So when you check uracil and thymine, so only difference is on the fifth carbon we have CH3 group. Apart from that, the remaining everything is same. So we can name thymine as 5-methyl uracil also. Okay. So 5-methyl uracil is nothing but thymine. So the structure of thymine but the structure of cytosine is different. So you can observe C double bond O instead of this is 2 C double bond O groups are there, but it is only one C double bond O here. It is entirely different. So you can relate thymine and uracil. So thymine we can name that one as 5-methyl uracil also. I hope it is clear. So we have studied purine and pyrimidine bases. Next. So in this bases, DNA consists of adenine, guanine, thymine, cytosine. So it is very, very important because we are going to study these things further, and it is very, very important for a point for competitive. So that's why, and more importance should be given for this. You need to remember, and for the theory exam also. So they may question like which are all the bases, or the base which is present in DNA and it is not present in RNA. That is a very commonly asked question in any board exam. So DNA we have bases as adenine, guanine, thymine and cytosine. RNA contains adenine, guanine, uracil and cytosine. So if at all if you check, so here thymine is there in DNA, in RNA it is uracil. So that is thymine is not present in RNA, likewise uracil is not present in DNA. Or the base which is going to differ from RNA and DNA is thymine and uracil. I hope it is clear. So make a note of it. It is very, very important. Next one, nucleosides. So when we have started with our nucleic acids, so we have studied. So it is nucleotide. Nucleotide will be broken into a nucleic acid is nothing but it is a polymer of nucleotide. When nucleotide breaks, it is going to give out nucleosides. When nucleoside breaks, it is going to give out a pentose sugar, a base and a phosphoric acid. I hope it is clear. So all these things we have studied in our last class. So now what is this nucleoside? We'll discuss. Nucleoside is consisting of an nitrogenous base plus a pentose sugar. So it is two basic components of nucleic acids, that is pentose sugar and nitrogenous base. So it is going to combine, the nitrogenous base combines with pentose sugar. Where it is going to combine? It is going to combine on the pentose sugar. So on the first carbon. So first carbon of pentose sugar, and if at all if it is a pyrimidine, then first position of pyrimidine, and if it is purine, then 9th position of purine. So remember, it is very, very important. As I said, so it is very, very important. The numbers there. So that is first position. This is the first carbon. So if this is a pentose, this is a pentose sugar. This is the first carbon. So first carbon of, you can see this is the nucleoside. The first carbon of pentose sugar is bonded with the first nitrogen of pyrimidine. This is the nitrogen. We can observe. So this is the first nitrogen. Second is C double bond O. So I hope you remember this one. So all these things we have just now, we have discussed this one. So this is the structure. This is the structure. It has been given there. So which structure it is? It is cytosine. It is given. The cytosine it is. This is the structure of cytosine. So first nitrogen is bonded. So if at all, if it is pyrimidine, then first nitrogen. If at all, if it is purine, then ninth nitrogen will be added. Okay, that's why I said it is very, very important. So observe how it is going to form a nucleoside. We have a base like this. We have a base like this. The base structure we have already studied in our last class. So the base on the first carbon atom of the base, we have OH group, and we have this is sugar. So on the first carbon or atom of sugar, we have OH group. The base consists of hydrogen. Dehydration reaction takes place. That means OH combines with H plus, OH minus combines with H plus, and it is going to give rise to an H2O. So here, if at all, if it is removed as OH minus, then this carbon will be getting an positive charge. Likewise, if at all, if it is leaving as H plus, then this nitrogen will be getting a negative charge. Carbon with positive bonds with the negative of nitrogen. Carbon of positive bonds with the negative charge of nitrogen and forming an bond with this one. This is called as a glycoside bond, that is N-glycoside. Since the nitrogen is involved, we call that one as N-glycosidic. This bond, the bond which has been formed between the nitrogen of a base and what a sugar of what a carbon of a sugar. So that bond is called as N-glycosidic bond. Remember, it is very, very important. So nucleoside, it is a combination of a nitrogenous base and pentose sugar. The pentose sugar of first carbon bonds with the first nitrogen of pyrimidine or ninth nitrogen of purine by eliminating an H2O molecule. By eliminating an H2O molecule. So it has been forming a bond with one another through or nitrogenous base and pentose sugar joined to one another through a glycosidic, N-glycosidic linkage or N-glycosidic bond. Suppose if at all, if it is ribose. So just a minute. So it is if at all, if it is an ribose, then we can call this one as a ribonucleoside. Suppose if it is an deoxyribose, then it is called as a deoxyribonucleoside. So here there is a slight mistake in the diagram. You can observe on the second carbon, if OH group is there, then it is ribose. If at all, if on the second carbon OH is not there, then it is deoxyribose. We have studied that one, but the name is here there is a mistake in the structure. So you just if you are writing it down, if you are making a note of it, then you just observe or you just change the name this as deoxyribose. So it is an pentose sugar which is deoxyribose, because on the second carbon we don't have OH group. If it is OH group, then it is ribose. If it is not OH, then it is deoxyribose. So here it is deoxyribose, only that thing. So pentose sugar and a base we have. So it is going to combine through a glycosidic linkage, and that is what called nucleoside is. So you can observe how it is going to form. We shall observe that one, and we'll try to name the structures also. So observe here. So this is what adenosine. Adenosine is nothing but it is a purine here. So the purine, it is attached with the ninth nitrogen. Ninth nitrogen of purine is bonding with the it is bonding with the our sugar. It is bonding with the sugar. What type of sugar it is? We have second carbon OH group. That means that it is ribose sugar. Second carbon no OH. Then it is deoxyribose. Okay. So what is this structure? This is adenine. This is adenine. And what is this structure? This is thymine. So thymine is nothing but it is pyrimidine. Pyrimidine means first carbon. Pyrimidine, I mean first nitrogen, not carbon, first nitrogen. So here you can observe. So pyrimidine, first first nitrogen, purine, it is ninth nitrogen. It is going to bond. How it is going to bond? On the first carbon we have OH group. On the nitrogen we have H group. H and OH will give out as H2O. Then those two will be combined. Likewise here also H will be there and OH will be on first carbon. Eliminates as H2O and form a bond. What is this bond called? The bond is called as N-glycosidic linkage. Okay, next, how the name changes? We have this one. What is this? This is adenine. This is thymine. Adenine, the name converts as adenosine. Thymine converts as thymidine. Likewise, we have few points given there. The same thing which we have already studied. Nucleosides, the bond present between a sugar is and base is called N-glycoside bond. So we have a number of nitrogen of pyrimidine and first carbon of sugar. Likewise, ninth. So here it is pyrimidine, here it is purine. Next one. So as I said, so depending upon the type of sugar present, nucleosides are of two types. So if OH group is there, then it is a ribonucleoside. So you can observe this is the first carbon. B is nothing but base. Base may be present either any purine or pyrimidine. Likewise here also base may be present any purine or pyrimidine. So it is only about the pentose sugar. To know the sugar, these structures are being given. So the second carbon, this is our first carbon, this is second, third, fourth, and it is fifth. So second carbon OH is present, then it is ribonucleoside. And if a second carbon no OH, then it is deoxynucleoriboside. Why it is nucleoside? Base is already bonded to sugar, so that's why it is nucleoside. Okay, if base is not bonded, only sugar is present, only sugar moiety is present, then it is called ribose. Ribose, here it is deoxyribose. Okay, if base is present, then nucleoside. Next one. So how as I said, the names is going to change, I said. So the names, it is uracil. This is uracil attached to the sugar moiety. So the name has been changed as uridine. So likewise here it is cytosine. So the name changed as cytidine. Uridine, cytidine, adenosine, guanosine. So thymidine, cytidine, what are all these things? That is nothing but guanosine. It is nothing but the nucleosides. It indicates the nucleosides. So here what is the difference in these two things are? You can observe here. So on the second carbon we have a OH. So that means that it is ribose. So here this line, this entire line of structures, whatever it is, on the second carbon no OH, that is nothing but it is deoxy. So what is the difference? How to differ these things? You can make out uracil means this base is uridine is nothing but the base is uracil present. Cytidine is nothing but the base is cytidine. Is nothing but the base is the cytosine. Likewise adenine. Here the base is guanine. But how to make out the sugar moiety? Whether it is deoxyribose or ribose. If it is ribose, only uridine, only adenosine. So you can observe here only adenosine. If at all, if the second carbon doesn't contains OH group, then it is called deoxyribose. The sugar is called deoxyribose. So at that time the name changes as a deoxyadenosine. Okay. So if it is only adenosine, then the sugar moiety is ribose and the base is adenine. If it is deoxyadenosine, then sugar moiety is deoxyribose and the base present is adenine. I hope it is clear. So that is how nucleoside, with the name itself we can identify which base is present and which sugar moiety is present. I hope it is clear. Next is nucleotides. So nucleotides are nothing but it is a monomeric unit of nucleic acid. It consists of a base, sugar and phosphate. If only base and sugar are there, then it is a nucleoside. So to the base and sugar, if phosphate is also added, then we are going to call that one as a nucleotide. So the base is nothing but purine or pyrimidine. So you can observe base bonded with sugar at first carbon. So on the first carbon, you can observe this one. So nitrogenous base, we have pentose sugar. Nitrogenous base, if at all, if it is an. So first we'll discuss about these two things, how it is bonded. First we'll discuss about those two things. Suppose if at all, if nitrogenous base is there, if nitrogenous base is an purine, if it is purine, then ninth nitrogen will bond to ninth nitrogen will bond to first carbon of pentose sugar. This is our first carbon. Let us consider, we have reversed the structure, that's it. So ninth nitrogen will bond to first carbon. Suppose if at all, if it is an pyrimidine, then first nitrogen of the base is bonded to first carbon of pentose sugar. Then phosphate group is going to bond to fifth carbon of pentose sugar. You can observe where is fifth carbon. So you can observe here, just a minute, slight bigger structure will take. Okay, so this is first carbon, second, third, fourth, fifth. So this is our fifth carbon. To the fifth carbon, phosphate group is, or phosphoric acid group is attached. So to the first carbon, we have a base, and on the fifth carbon, we have a phosphoric acid. So it is not only one phosphate group, not only one phosphate group there. So 2 or 3 phosphate groups also may be present, which may attach to third carbon also. Okay. So we'll take up a structure. This is our structure, nucleotide. This is our pentose sugar. This is our fifth carbon. This is our first carbon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To the first carbon, what is attached? Base is attached. To the fifth carbon, phosphate group is attached. So this phosphate group, if only one phosphate group is attached, then only one phosphate group is attached to adenine unit. The base, if it is adenine, then the name becomes adenosine monophosphate. Already we know nitrogen base and pentose sugar, that is adenine if it is there and pentose sugar is there, we call that one as adenosine. Only one phosphate group is attached, then it is adenosine monophosphate. 2 is attached, then it is adenosine diphosphate. 3 is attached, adenosine triphosphate. Okay, likewise. So second one, there is a possibility of attacking or attached on the third carbon atom. First on the fifth, and second possibility of phosphate group to be attacked on the third carbon. And if further, if three phosphate groups has to be present, then there is a chance, a very less chance, it is there is a chance of a phosphate group to attacking on the second carbon atom also. So most commonly we have observed fifth and third one. So you can observe here, the pentose sugar may be deoxyribose or it may be ribose. So that is what it is given here. Okay. So pentose sugar might be ribose or it might be deoxyribose. So base it is given. So you can observe here, this is what I said. So fifth carbon, this is our fifth carbon where phosphate group may attach. Third carbon, phosphate may attach. Second carbon, phosphate may attach. First carbon, base is attached. So the pentose sugar with the base is nucleotide. So base, pentose sugar and phosphate group is nothing but a nucleotide. How it is going to form a bond? So we have seen, just now we have seen how the OH group of sugar and H of base is going to liberate and form an N-glycosidic bond. So likewise, you can observe how it is going to form. So we have taken a pentose sugar. So if it is OH group, then it is ribose. If it is just H, then it is deoxyribose. Okay. Now, so OH group of first carbon of the base, forms a bond with the base, and a fifth carbon where OH of the fifth carbon atom forms a bond with the phosphate group or phosphoric acid or phosphate group. How it is going to form? Observe here. So this is our base. So this is our fifth carbon, CH2OH. It is fourth carbon. This is our fifth carbon. It is CH2 group and OH is present. So OH group of what a fifth carbon combines with the what is phosphoric acid. Phosphoric acid is H3PO4. You can observe P, double bond O, OH, OH, single bond OH, single bond OH, single bond OH. H from one of the oxygen is going to be liberated as H plus OH minus. It forms the H2 and it is going to eliminate. Likewise, the similar thing with base also. So this was the base. Base with the first carbon atom of sugar, OH is eliminated and it forms N-glycosidic linkage. Here it is OH and H removed, that is called H2O. So where we can observe it is O minus and this CH2 plus. It is OH minus CH2 plus, H plus, O minus. O minus combines with the CH2 plus. You can observe here. CH2 plus combining with the O minus. And it is going to form an bond like this. I hope it is clear. So this is our base which is forming a bond with first carbon. And this is our phosphate group forming a bond with the fifth carbon. So this is what adenosine we have taken. Adenosine, it is nothing but it is purine. So ninth nitrogen is forming a bond with the pentose sugar here. So only base and sugar, you can observe. Only the base and the sugar is there. Then we name that one as adenosine or nucleoside. Phosphate group is also involved. Then we are going to name that one as adenosine monophosphate, or we can name that one as a nucleotide. So our monophosphates, it is only one phosphate group attached. So that's why we are going to name that one as monophosphate. I hope it is clear, monophosphate. So if it is 2, then it is diphosphate. So likewise, if it is 3, then it is a triphosphate. So we name this one as monophosphate.